3 to 8 is the time here on 702 ABC Sydney. Ian is from Mt Colah. Morning, Ian.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, the pension changes were a big aspect of last night's budget. Do they affect you?
Yeah, they do quite substantially. I was a part pensioner. I'm on that exact cusp, so we lose the entire part pension, which is probably around about just over $100 a week.
Okay.
So that disappears from I think the beginning of 2017.
Yeah. How is that going to affect you?
Look, it's a lot of money. I mean, it's $5,000 odd a year. I'm pleased to see that we still keep the pensioner concession card because that's obviously worth quite a bit to us in terms of electricity and rates and everything else. But it's going to have an effect. But look, to be quite honest, I'm not overly upset. I mean, I am upset for myself, but I really am prepared to lose that if it genuinely is going to get this deficit reduced. I've got 3 sons, and I obviously want them to have a great future. And I don't need that. I'm not being facetious, but I can live without that. It's going to affect me, yes. But I wasn't really expecting a part pension when I retired. I just wanted to see whether I qualified for the card. So, in terms of them saying wealthy retirees, well, that's nonsense. I'm certainly not that. But I'm not anybody where it's going to make us, a difference of bread on the table or whatever. It's just going to mean, maybe a few less cups of coffee a week.
Yeah, sure.
So, I'm sort of out of that self-interest thing, and I really am interested in the economy, and I like the budget, to be quite honest. So even though it affects me negatively, I've got a positive feeling about the budget.
Okay, good point. Hey, Ian, thanks very much for the call this morning. 1300 222 702. Ronnie is from Tea Gardens. Morning, Ronnie.
Hello, Robbie. Look, Robbie, I was inclined to agree with the woman who rang earlier who said perhaps some politicians don't really know what mothers are all about. And, Robbie, I'm still fuming from Monday when Tony Abbott made the comment, it may have been on the news, saying families where there's a little more work happening are very often happier. I'd love to know what other people think about that, but it's not all about money, is it?
No, it's not. It's not all about money at all. I guess, look, the point being made for this budget is to try and get the economy ticking over a little bit more effectively than it has in the past, and having people who are able to work getting back into the workforce is primarily the aim.
But will a family where mum and dad go to work and the 3 kids go to childcare and they get enough money to cover the cost of childcare be happier?
That's a big question, Ronnie. It's a big question. Thanks for the call.
Could I just suggest ABBA's Money, Money, Money for the Congo line?
For tomorrow. For Friday. We'll see. Good on you. Thank you, Ronnie. 1300 222 702. Ellie is in Carlingford. Morning, Ellie.
Morning. Just a bit along the same lines, just if you're at home as a carer, there's no breaks for you, there's no family childcare, there's no nannies to care for the elderly at home, so you're at home and you can't go back out to work. And that's also a lot of women who, have to care for people at home. And with that intergenerational report, nothing seems to have been seen, in the budget about that. And they spend a lot of money. Yeah,
obviously carers are a huge, often hidden component of the people around us.
And just no nannies for us, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They never think of the elderly and getting women in the workforce that way.
Good on you. Hey, Ellie, thanks for the call. 1300 222 702. Margaret is in Coreela. Morning, Margaret.
Yeah, morning, Robbie.
You're in the Shire, are you?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And the childcare, which is a major part of last night's announcement.
Yes. In principle, I agree with the principle that parents who stay at home and make choices to have children shouldn't receive childcare subsidies. I believe that for a number of reasons, and that's because they make... sorry, I'm getting a bit nervous here.
No, it's okay. You relax.
Because I believe that that their childcare should not be subsidised by the rest of the population.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and this
choices that they make to stay at home.
It's certainly something that we heard a lot of when we spoke about this earlier in the week. I think it was on Monday when we spoke about it. Hey, good on you, Margaret. Thank you for that.
I just don't think it's fair that other people should pay for their childcare. And the good thing about the changes is that when my children were in childcare and I was receiving no subsidies and I was paying full fees, there were people in there on Social Security that put 3 and 4 children into childcare centres for a week.
Okay. All right. I appreciate the call. Sarah is in Roselle, moving to older workers over 50 now. Morning, Sarah.
Hi, yes, I heard with great amusement something referred to as an announcement that was actually in last year's budget.
Yeah, the incentive. The change. Sorry.
Yeah. Last year's budget, the only difference is that they didn't say there was a 6-month waiting period, i.e. you had to be on the dole for 6 months. This year they've mentioned it. But, it sounds exactly like what was in last year's. And by the way, I absolutely applaud the issue on carers. They only get away with not paying carers superannuation and the basic wage because Centrelink aren't legally classified as their employer.
Okay, all right.
It will be winnable in court one day, I have no doubt.
Okay, good on you, Sarah. Thank you. Yeah. 1300 222 702. What else have we got on the text line as well? Robbie, can you please stop referring to the $20,000 cash injection? This is the tax deduction that's been announced last night. As a previous caller said, it's really about $1,800 and subject to small business already having that money to spend. Many are struggling to keep the doors open, says Angie. Yeah, thank you for that one. Jen is in North Sydney. Morning, Jen.
Hi, Robbie. How are you?
Yeah, well, where are we going to now?
Well, I've just come back from somewhere
Okay.
abroad, and I'm still a bit shell-shocked. But I was so inspired by that fellow Ian who rang a couple of minutes ago, saying that his viewpoint was that, yes, he was losing something from his part pension or services, but this was not about self-interest. He had 3 sons. And he felt that this, the new budgetary measures were going to somehow help our economy. And it just reminded me of what I'd heard about a week ago before the UK elections, where David Cameron actually created 300,000 jobs more in the UK. It was the EU, obviously there's a few basket cases there, and that it just reminded me that perhaps we've got to be proactive with our budget, irrespective of your politics, and take after Ian, and it's not about self-interest.
All right, thank you, Jen. And finally, Claire in North Sydney. Very quickly, Claire.
Yes, hi. Very quickly, I want to distinguish the difference between early childhood education and babysitting childcare. They're 2 different aims. We need all our kids in early childhood. Having early childhood education at least 2 days a week, that's different to the logistics of just babysitting kids so parents can go back to work. And it's not just mums, it's dads too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we touched on that quite heavily earlier this week and saying that childcare can be early development, not just babysitting. Yep. Thank you, Claire. Thanks for the call. Look, that's it for us, well, for me anyway, but of course a lot more on the budget coming up in just a moment in the news and in AM, and then Linda will be with you after 8:30, taking your calls and going through some more of the details about last night's budget paper, of course. Have yourself a wonderful day, won't you? More blue skies around, a little bit cooler, a top of 17. Enjoy it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Sorry, what? Yeah, it's the recording of it, yeah.
All right, lift off and the clock has started.
This is Evenings with Dom Knight on 702 AB.